Jenna, but you guys can call me Jen. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Hi, hello. Welcome to a little upcoming TBR video. If you know anything about me, you know I'm a mood reader. So I like to keep a lot of options available to myself. And I also have a physical TBR of over 160 books. I checked. It's bad. It's bad. I have so many things that I want to read. And I don't know what to read ever. So I always like to narrow it down to like books that I'm like, yeah, I could read that soon. I feel like I could read that soon. Or if I have video plans, etc., to actually read things. And then my library comes in and attacks me as well. So like, these are just possibilities of things that I would love to get to in the next couple months. And I would love for you down below in the comments to tell me what's on your TBR upcoming. And also, if you have any like immediate like, yes, please, Jenna, read these now feelings towards any books. Okay? Okay. Anyways, let's get into it. I don't even know where to start, guys. I guess I'll start with what I'm currently reading. I'm currently reading An Echo of Things to Come by James Islington, which is the second book in the Lycaeus trilogy, of which the first book is called The Shadow of What Was Lost, and I gave 5 stars last year. I meant to continue that series last year and just never really did. I got like halfway through this book and then just stopped because I am a mood reader, and the mood reader was mood readering at the time. I was approached by my lovely friend Lindsay to do a buddy read of this because she just read The Shadow of What Was Lost and she knew that I really enjoyed it, and she didn't know if I had finished the rest of the series, so she wanted to know, and I was like, no, I have not. This is a good reason to. So we are now buddy reading this and having a great time. I am currently 37% of the way through, which is like over 200 pages in. So it's a chunker. I'm excited. Love this. Old man fantasy. I also have plans coming up in June. Once NetGalley gets their life together and gives us the Kobo integration we have been asking for, since they removed the ability to download e-arcs and then we have the ability to like upload them onto our Kobos in our own way using Adobe something. There's an Adobe widget on my computer that I use to do that, but they removed that ability when that whole like downloading ebooks thing was slowly being removed from everywhere. And all of us, especially me with this Kobo, I was like, well, great, I'm never gonna request an arc from NetGalley again unless they get their life together. And they announced that they were gonna have their life together by the end of May. So I went a little bit crazy with the arcs. My friends, I have so many in my NetGalley shelves now. I just got approved for Red Tempest Brother by Hannah Long. I'm so excited. And also Megan O'Keefe's next sci-fi I have. Guys, I've been blessed by the arc gods. I got so many good arcs lined up. So I am hoping to make June an arc month to see if I can get through a bunch of them, because I am genuinely excited to get through all of these. And once that integration comes back, and we can download direct to our Kobos, which will be just glorious. That is what I will be doing, and I will be reading all the arcs. I'm so excited. So excited. And June is a month, like June is a little crazy for me because my friend's wedding is right at the beginning and it's summer, and I'm gonna be probably doing a little bit of summer teaching and all that kind of stuff. So having something easy and nice to read, it'll be nice to do some arc reading for sure. I'm also in the middle of the Ashfire King. Still, I know, don't look at me. I've been reading this for so long. I am over 50% of the way through. I just need to fucking finish this. I'm also currently reading one of those arcs that I did get. It is the third and final book in Moses Otse Utomi's novella series that starts with The Lies of the Ajango. It is The Memory of the Ogishi, I believe. I'll put the cover here so you can see what it looks like. But that one I'm so excited about, and it's short enough that I think I can just read it on my phone, and I have been, and it's been fine. But I don't like reading ebooks on my phone. I don't like looking at a screen that long. I much prefer reading my ebooks on my Kobo. Anyways, okay, I am currently also in the middle of a couple series that I have done for a series video. I have, namely, Megan E. O'Keefe's The Devoured Worlds series to finish with this final book, The Bound Worlds, which is a incredible sci-fi series that I have been absolutely eating up. So I need to finish this, hopefully soon, so that I can get that video out for you guys. And also I have Melissa Blair's Halfling Saga series underway as well. I've only reread the first one so far, and there's 4 books in this series, so I do need to, you know, continue with this, but I do have the audiobook in from my library finally for this one, so I'm gonna continue that very soon and hopefully polish this bad boy off, or this series off quite quickly. Speaking of series, I have also been, I'm just reorganizing things as I'm sitting here. I reread Legendborn, I believe last month, and I would like to reread Bloodmarked before I dive into. It's underneath the pile of things. Oh look, a spoiler. Oathbound! So I would like to reread Bloodmarked and then actually get into Oathbound sometime in the next couple months, because I have not heard anything spoilery about this book, which thank God the internet has not been spoilery for this kind of stuff, and I've been very on it with my spoilers for things. If I see anybody talking about Oathbound or talking about Sunrise on the Reaping, I immediately scroll away. Unless it's one of my friends on, or like mutuals on TikTok, I will like it and then scroll away because I'm like, I don't want to see what you have to say about this. I don't want to get spoiled even in the slightest. So I'm going to be rereading Bloodmarked and then going into Oathbound. I guess I'll talk about this one because I held it up. I would love to reread the entire Hunger Games books that I have, all 4 of these, to then go into Sunrise on the Reaping, because even though I hated Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, I am willing to reread it to remind myself of what Suzanne Collins has to say before diving into Sunrise, because I feel like that is the best way to really get the entire package of what Suzanne Collins is having to say with these beautiful books, you know? So this is a potential, and this is like a potential, like I could do this in one weekend type of situation, because the Hunger Games books are very quick to read. So the potentiality, but yes, story time. This book specifically, you see that mature read sticker at the top? That is from my days as a wee student who still had access to the Scholastic Book Fair, because that is where I picked this up. And I still have the original copy, which is really, really, really fun. So anyways, this is a definite possibility of happening at some point, especially because I've read kind of a shitty dystopian recently and I want to read good dystopian again, and that's what that is. I also have an idea to do a reading vlog where I read a couple books, try find a comp for Sage's story through that. This is not necessarily like a must do right away, but it was an idea that I had that I put books aside for. I have already read The Bone Maker by Sarah Beth Durst and Amina Al-Sarafi by Shannon Chakraborty, but I would love to reread Amina Al-Sarafi because it has been so long. I don't want to reread The Bone Maker because I remember it quite clearly, but these 2 in the middle here are potential extras that I would like to read that could be, like any one of these could definitely be a comparison novel, a comp novel that I could use for Sage's story when I decide to query that. I'm doing this so early because I haven't even fucking written that book yet. But this was an idea that I had, and I put the books aside. And I also have Dungeon Crawler Carl on my Kobo. That is also going to be part of this video. So that is something. I don't know when I'm going to get to that. It's just an idea that I have. Amina Al-Sarafi to me is a very summery book, so like maybe maybe I'll read that this summer. I also have a big old stack of book boys here that are books that I have acquired relatively recently, except for these 2. These 2 are from like last year. But these books are like recent acquires that I would love to read. In that stack, Gravity Lost by L.M. Sagas, which is book 2 to Cascade Failure, I forgot the title of it, which I would love to pick up because I really enjoyed that sci-fi. I have a bunch of Octavia E. Butlers. I have this one and then these 2 that I would really love to get to. So we have Octavia E. Butler time. When I'm willing to read good dystopian, actually I should probably pick this one up very soon if I want good dystopian, and then more of her stuff. So we have Fledgling and Wild Seed, and then Parable of the Talents, which I need to read these so soon. We have Green Teeth by Molly O'Neill, which I will be reading very soon, if not this weekend, because I believe I'm doing a buddy read with Gina from TikTok, which is very fun. So I will be reading this one very soon. I also have Funny Story by Emily Henry, which I bought recently and I would love to read. And also summer is kind of the only season that I ever really read romance books in, so this is probably going to be my one romance book this year. And then we have The Cat Who Saved the Library by Sosuke Natsukawa. I would love to squeeze it in May because it is AAPI month and this would work for that as well, but who knows what I'm going to get up to. And then I also have Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater, which was gifted to me by Julie. my beautiful friend, Julie, which I would love to get to this. It's a cozy fantasy novel. And I also have another cozy fantasy novel here that I bought last year as a pre-order around this time last year that I just never got to, which is The Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields. This is a, like, I need to read this very, very, very soon because I kind of want to see if I can use it as a comp for A Favored Fey. Not that I need to, like, actually have comparison novels for it because I'm self-publishing it, but I would like to be able to market it as, like, the Spell Shop meets The Honey Witch or something like that, because I'm using the Spell Shop as a comp for some of this for A Favored Fey. So, and as so far I've just been using Can't Spell Treason Without Tea, like a little bit of it, but like that doesn't actually fit. It was just a cozy fantasy novel that popped into my head that would work. So I would like to read this to see if this would work for a comp, because I know this is cottagecore cozy fantasy, which we love. I also have Erin M. Evans' RuneScape novel, The Gift of Guthix, because she's got her second RuneScape novel, which is not a tie to this one. This is a beautiful standalone, but it is still in the world of RuneScape, which I know nothing about, but it's Erin M. Evans, who wrote Empire of Exiles, which you guys know is one of my favorite books of all time, top 2. So I would really like to get to this. I feel like it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I believe there is an audiobook coming for this in July, so I might hold off until July to read this, or if I get the hankering, I'll read it sooner, but excited about this. I also have all of Erin M. Evans' Brimstone Angels saga books on my Kobo that I would really like to actually read. I did get halfway through the first one. Did I read it properly? No. It was, again, mood readered my way away from that one. So I need to get back to it, restart it, and actually give that series a big old read through, because I know I'm just gonna absolutely love it. It's a D&D tie-in novel, so it's content that I love, and it's by a writer that I absolutely love. I also picked up the special edition of A Song of Legends Lost last month, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, do I want to read this. I am just, I think it's gonna be really good. I know nothing about this. I'm not telling you anything about these books either, which is probably not helpful for you, but this is a very lax video for me because it has been a very long day. It is currently almost 7 o'clock. Have I eaten dinner yet? No, I finished work at 6:30. So this is where I've been. I was just like, I need to film a video for tomorrow. I gotta film a video, and I hope you guys enjoy this very chill, chatty TBR video, because why not? I would love to know your TBR as well. This I'm very excited about because I've been following this author on TikTok for a while, and I enjoy her. So I would love to read that. I also have these 2 books, the next Star Wars High Republic books, on my shelves. The Rising Storm by Kevin Scott, and then The Fallen Star by Claudia Gray. I would love to read these because I have so much fun with the Star Wars books, and if the audiobooks for these are as highly produced as the first one was by Charles Soule, I will be so happy because this just sounds like the greatest time ever. And then I have my library stack, which is not all the library books I actually have. I have so many more currently still on my piano, but these are the ones that I'm like, I desperately want to read, like right now. So we have Daughter of Chaos by A.S. Webb. I did get this, I believe there was a Chirp deal on the audiobook for this one, so I picked up the audiobook through Chirp, so I do actually need to read this one because I have the audiobook for it. Greek mythology epic fantasy. We have The House of Bone and Rain by Gabino Iglesias, which is a horror type of story, a familial horror-y vibe. Stand By Me with a Haunted Obsidian Dark Heart. We love that. And we also have Jedediah Barry's The Naming Song, which is blurbed by Erin Morgenstern on the back, and Erin Morgenstern wrote The Starless Sea, which is one of my favorite books ever, so I'm assuming this is quite, like, speculative of a novel. So I would really like to explore what this is. I don't have, like, high hopes for it. I don't really have any hopes for it. I don't go into books very often with, like, oh my god, I'm so excited, this is gonna be 5 stars expectations. But I'm very excited to explore what this is and what this is about. I also have the sequel to Dragon Rider, which was the first book that I read this year. This is The Tainted Khan by Taran Matharu. Picked this up through the library, of course. I had them like order it for me, so I didn't get another book that was like 40 some odd dollars. I am very excited about this because I really enjoy Dragon Rider, so absolutely would love to get to this very, very, very soon. Also, so that I don't forget a lot about the first one, because the first one was great, and I only read it a couple months ago, so would love to continue this. And then I have this bad boy, this trilogy by Megan E. O'Keefe. I got the entire trilogy. This weekend is a long weekend, and I have ideas, my friends, okay? This might be a little crazy, but if you were watching this on Friday when this goes up, the day that this goes up, before the long weekend. Please tell me if I should read this entire trilogy this weekend, if I should try and reread all the Hunger Games books this weekend, or if I should just chill the fuck out and finish what I have going on and like read some library books or something. Do like a 12-hour readathon or something like that, like timer led. I need my sleep because I personally want to do lots of reading this weekend. Even though I'm also in the process of editing A Favored Fey, I do want to read a lot. So this is an option because I love Megan E. O'Keefe. Have I finished her other trilogy yet? No, because you saw that book earlier in this video. I just have so many things to read. So tell me in the comments what I should do this long weekend. Should I read this entire trilogy in one sitting? Should I reread all of the Hunger Games things this weekend? Should I read my library books this weekend? Tell me what I should read this weekend. And tell me what I should read first out of this TBR pile, because this is the last thing I had to talk to you about. I have so many books that are just constantly on my mind. I also got these cutie patootie little sci-fis by Margaret Weiss at the thrift store. This is her like Star Wars-esque series. I'm not expecting great things out of it, but I literally looked up to see if there were audiobooks of this first book. There is not an audiobook of this first book anywhere. It just was never made. So that is how retro we're going. I'm so excited. So I know a lot of the older books like just don't have audiobooks made into them unless they were really popular. So I'm very excited about these just to give them a try. I feel like they'd be very fun and spicy. I also have an idea to reread The Bone Season and then actually catch up on the series of Samantha Shannon's The Bone Season series, because there are 5 books out of that. I've only read the first one, and that was before she rewrote it. So I would love to read these. I also have A Day of Fallen Night that I need to read. And I mentioned this series because it is a series that I, in my heart of hearts, was planning to read in the summer. I felt like it was a good summery series, and this is also dystopian too. So like, is it dystopian summer? Is that what we're just getting into? I think that would be very fun. Anyways, my friends, I think I'm gonna leave this here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. This is what happens when you're a mood reader and you want to also set a TBR because you are a Virgo and you're maybe a little neurodivergent and you love lists. So the mood reader in me needs options, lots of options. And then the Virgo in me is like, lists, let's make a TBR. That is what this ends up being. I have learned to just keep a fuck ton of books on my mantle as options so that I visually see them. Because if they go into this, I do not see them. I don't. I literally I forgot that I had purchased A Song of Legends Lost a couple days after I had put it into my shelf. So I literally had to take it back out and be like, right, I have this. I do want to read this. So that's why if you ever see my vlogs, and I just have books stacked everywhere, that is why. I forget that I have things if they're in the bookshelf, which is so funny. It's wild. I regularly scroll through my Storygraph owned book list because that is how I keep track of my physical TBR and the numbers of my physical TBR. And I look at books, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I wonder where I put that. Or I wonder if I've unhauled that off my list or anything, because I have a big stack of unhauls that I'm gonna get rid of slowly. I'm just rambling now, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this really quick, short little video. Again, let me know down below what you're gonna be reading in these spring, summery months. If you have any new releases that you're very excited about. And I will catch you in another video very soon. Stay calm and keep on reading.